Good evening and welcome to this special edition of the CBS Evening News from Rome. Thank you for being with us. I'm Norah O'Donnell overlooking the Vatican, where just a few hours ago we interviewed the Holy Father, Pope Francis. The head of the Catholic Church shares his insight on the state of the world in his first extensive one-on-one interview with a U.S. television network. His Holiness spoke to us about war, peace, famine, and climate change, all with the world's children in mind. Our sit-down comes ahead of the Vatican's first World Children's Day with a message that all kids are, quote, precious in God's eyes. We've been in Rome and Vatican City for a few days now, speaking with people from around the world who've made the sacred pilgrimage to reconnect with their faith, pray at the Sistine Chapel, and have a chance to see Pope Francis. A reminder that people of all faiths turn to Pope Francis for guidance on the world's most difficult issues, making our conversation with His Holiness that much more important. Oh my goodness. Buongiorno, Your Holiness. What an honor. So wonderful to meet you.
Love to meet you.
Love to meet you. Yes. Thank you so much for doing this. We met Pope Francis today at Casa Santa Marta, the guest house where the pontiff lives instead of the lavish papal palace. At 87 years old, he may have trouble walking, but he had no difficulty sitting down with us for an hour-long conversation. How's your health?
Ella está bien.
My health is good.
In nearly every address,
Que sofre tanto per la guerra.
the Pope often calls for peace. He condemned Hamas's October 7th attack, but has also called on Israel to use restraint. There are now pictures of starving children coming out of Gaza. What about those that call that a genocide?
Genocidio.
Genocide.
Yo llamo todas las tardes a las 7 a la
Every
parroquia
afternoon
de
at 7 p.m., I call Gaza to the parish.
Ahí
There are about 600 people there, and they tell me what's going on.
lo que sucede ahí. Es muy duro.
It's very hard. Very, very hard. Food goes in,
Va la gente a buscar y
but they have to fight for it.
es muy duro.
It's very hard.
I know you call for peace. You have called for a ceasefire in many of your sermons. Can you help negotiate peace?
I can pray. I do.
Rezo
I pray a
mucho
lot.
por la paz.
During World Children's Day, which is the end of May, the UN says over 1 million people will be facing famine in Gaza, many of them children. What can be done?
No solo en Gaza. Pensemos en Ucrania.
Not only Gaza, we should think about Ukraine.
Que esos niños no saben sonreír.
Those kids don't know how to smile. I tell them something, but they forgot how to smile.
Olvidaron de sonreír.
And this is very hard when a child forgets to smile. That's really very serious, very serious.
Gravísimo. Es muy grave.
Do you have a message for Vladimir Putin when it comes to Ukraine?
Por favor,
Please,
en los países en guerra,
countries at war, all of them,
detengan la guerra. Busquen
stop the war. Look to negotiate. Look for peace. A negotiated peace is better than a war without end.
más negociada que no una guerra sin fin.
His Most Holy Father is considered one of the most influential people in the world, leading nearly 1.4 billion Catholics. He is the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit, and will host the Vatican's first World Children's Day next month. I love that you take the kids in the Pope Mobile with you and bring them up to the Apostolic Palace when you say a prayer. Why do you do that?
Los niños traen siempre un mensaje.
Children always bear a message. They bear a message, and it is a way for us to have a younger heart.
De rejuvenecer el corazón.
Francis is also the first pontiff to make climate change a priority. In 2015, to make an important point, images of the environment were projected onto St. Peter's Basilica, the dome designed in the mid-16th century by Michelangelo. What do you say to the deniers of climate change?
Mira, hay gente que es necia.
There are people who are foolish, and foolish even if you show them research. They don't believe it. Why? Because they don't understand the situation or because of their interest. But climate change exists.
His progressive style has made him popular worldwide, with millions coming here to St. Peter's Square to catch a glimpse of the Holy Father.
It has made us emotional, just being here, going into St. Peter's Basilica, going into the Sistine Chapel. It just tears coming into our eyes because you can feel the Spirit.
Sophia and Aaron came with their family from San Diego, California. How did it make you feel when he came out of the window?
It made me feel good, like butterflies in my stomach.
Still, the number of Catholics in America is dwindling. In the U.S., only 20% of adults identify as Catholic, and that's down from 24% in 2007. I wonder if you could speak to those who don't go to Mass anymore, or maybe don't see a place for themselves in the Catholic Church.
I would say there is always a place, always. If in this parish the priest doesn't seem welcoming, I understand, but go and look. There is always a place. Do not run away from the church. The church is very big. It's more than a temple. It's more. You shouldn't run away from her.
We also asked the Pope about the migrant crisis, gay rights, women's role in the church, and whether he's thinking about retirement. We'll have that and much more on 60 Minutes on Sunday, May 19th, and then a primetime special on Monday, May 20th, right here on CBS.